Yo, what's good guys? It's your boy Westend here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how I audition vocals, chop them up, automate them, and make sure that they fit in the mix of my song. Finding the right vocal is super key to bringing that magic to a record and really tying everything together. So I'm going to be showing you guys basically what goes through my head when I'm looking for vocals, and once I find something I like, what I decide to do with it. So let's get right into it. We have a little beat that I started, and right now we don't have a vocal for it. So let's just check out what this sounds like. Cool, so a nice little kind of bouncy groove with like a tom bass, a nice full kind of disco drum line there, but that's pretty much it. So it does sound like a bit empty, so this would be a perfect place to get some vocals in. And for this video, I'm going to be using the new Kick and Bass Tech Shouts and Phrases pack. There's tons of stuff to quickly get an idea going here, which is exactly what you want. When you're auditioning vocals, you want to be able to find things that you can quickly drag in that are going to instantly kind of give you a spark of creativity or a groove. So the first thing I'll do is I'll have my beat ready to play, and I'll open up like whatever vocal pack I'm using. Sometimes it's Splice, but in this case I got the pack downloaded. It's nice to put it in your sidebar, either in like a folder or somewhere here, just so you can like quickly go through it. And then, you know, when we look at the pack, we can see there's 4 different folders. There's syllables, so that's going to be kind of like individual vocal chops, which you don't really see that often in packs, and I really like because it makes it way easier for creating your own vocal chop patterns, just being able to grab either a bunch of these or one of these and throw them in a sampler, or throw them straight onto the grid. You can get some really creative stuff with this, especially if you use like a MIDI generator like Sting and put this in a sampler. That's going to be money, so maybe we'll play with that. You have your shouts, and each of these folders are categorized by wet and dry. So the wet is going to have like some reverb and delay on it. The dry is just going to be like your dry vocal signal with no processing.
Work it. Turn it up. Run it.
Right now.
One time.
Right now.
Like that one's great. So these shouts are better for like, I would say like fills. They're a little bit more extended than just the syllables. And if you guys want to hear the wets,
run it.
You can hear like that reverb on it. Then we got phrases. So these are going to be like your longer, you know, it's going to have more of a theme to it, like not lyrics, I would say, because we're making like tech house. So it's not super long, but
stay with the groove. Stay with the music.
So these are the wet ones. I like to audition usually with dry.
Lip gloss dripping slow, blinking then I'm gone. Find me on the floor when my song is on.
Digital, physical, unstoppable, so typical.
So you can see there's nice like call and response baked into a lot of these vocals, and there's a lot of gaps, which is great for something like this because I'm going to be able to fit other synth sounds or whatever I want in between those gaps. So the way I audition vocals is I like to keep the beat running. And this doesn't always work because Ableton's not always great at actually detecting the BPM, even though it's in the title but of the vocal stem. But I'll let the track run, and I'll just kind of like play these until I find something that, even if it doesn't sound perfect, fits the vibe I'm going for. So let's do that right now.
Static sound, velvet.
Let your body speak for you, because there's nothing left to prove.
That one's pretty cool. And what I like to also do in this process is when I find something I like, just so I don't forget where it is, I'll put a color on it. So in this case, I'm just going to put my favorite drums color, which is 6. So I can just use 6 on my keyboard. But let's go back, because like we want to go through a bunch of vocals before we decide on one. Usually that gives me the best insight into which one I actually like the most.
Oh my love, just take it.
Don't move, keep steady. I'm right here and I'm ready.
So you can tell some of them, Ableton's not detecting the BPM. That's why they sound out of time, but I'm still able to like get what the vocal is from that and like how it would sound.
Keep it moving, baby, don't. This is the shake it, burn.
No more questions, no more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
That one's okay.
You said forever in the glow, but I'm still dancing here alone. Your shadow moves across high voltage. No.
Ride me high, then drop me low. Just take me where you wanna go.
So I like that vocal, but it's obviously not stretched. So I could tell I'm going to try it in. So we got a few options here. Obviously, if we had more time, I would probably go through every single vocal in the pack, right? Because you want to make sure you covered all your bases. But I think we can work with something that I already starred. So what I'll do is I have like my vocal group here, and I have like a new channel. So I'm just going to like drag one of these in and make sure it's like warped. So let's like drag this one. And then just click on this. You can see that the BPM, Ableton thinks this is 102, which is not right. So we're going to change that to 128.
No more questions, no more pain. Just this groove inside my brain. No more questions, no more.
Okay, so that's like one option. I'll make another audio channel. Let's mute that. Let's put another one of these in. Let's make sure it's warped right. It's close, but it's not fully on point.
You said forever in the glow, but I'm still dancing here alone. Your shadow moves across the floor. I hit repeat and play once more.
All right, that one's pretty cool. Let's try another one.
Ride me high.
Yeah, that's way off, 170. The reason why it doesn't able to know the BPM is because there's not really like a clear rhythmic sound. So like if you have a drum loop, it's very easy for Ableton to detect what the BPM is. It's a little bit harder with these vocals.
Ride me high, then drop me high, then drop me low. Just take me where you wanna go.
Like this one's cool, but I feel like there needs to be another phrase here, and I don't have that, so probably won't use this. And then let's check out the other one. I think it was
Let your body speak for you, because there's nothing left to prove.
that one's okay. It's not my favorite. I think there was one more that we found in the beginning.
I don't care if it's right or wrong.
A little less talk. Plug me in.
Heat on my push me once a hole.
Which one was it?
I don't care if it's right or wrong.
Run it back one time.
Digital,
Yeah, this one was
physical.
This one was kind of cool. I want to try this one as well. 128.
Digital, physical, unstoppable, so typical. Digital, physical.
Okay, cool. So we got a bunch of options here, and if you wanted, you could also like combine these. I don't think it's gonna work unless I really try to make that work right now, but that's another option. You don't always have to stick with one of these. And let's just check out the chops as well. So chops are gonna be great, like to have them pre-made, because I think they're just like easy song starters. So let's create another. These should lock up on BPM. I mean, like, these are great. Like, some of the best chops I've seen in a vocal pack, especially for that, like, kind of modern tech house sound that's going on. So, you know, I think the chops make more sense in a drop section like this. So, like, what we can do is throw, like, one of these in.
Inside my brain. Inside my brain.
That one's pretty cool because you can actually hear the lyrics.
Inside my brain. Inside my brain. My brain. Inside my brain. Inside my brain. My brain. Inside my brain. Inside my brain. My brain.
So this actually reminded me, this is a chop, and I think we actually have the phrase for this one. Is there like a brain one? Here we go. Inside my brain.
No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
All right, this is perfect. So now we have the chop section of that vocal and the more like hook section. So we can combine those two to create something that's a bit more interesting. So let's make, so we auditioned these, but I don't think I'm going to use them for this track because I think this is a cool idea. So let's listen to this.
No more questions. No,
Got to make sure it's 128.
no more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain. No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
So my idea is to have like this phrase repeat twice, and then for the next 8 bars, maybe use this chop section. So it'll go like this.
Just this groove inside my brain. Inside my brain. Inside my brain. 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 My brain. No more questions.
All right, this is cool. So the next thing I'm going to show you guys is how I like mix this a bit or process these vocals, because a lot of times you want to process the vocal to really, you just want to be in control of it. That's why I prefer to use the dry stems, because a lot of times that gives me more flexibility. So the first thing I'm going to do is add my Westend vocals rack. And I like this rack because I use it in all my tracks, so it helps kind of create like a signature sound, but it just makes vocals sound a lot like bigger.
No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
So all that's going on here is a bunch of parallel processing, so I can kind of adjust the volume of these different effect channels, and we have the dry signal here. So I'm going to play the beat and kind of decide what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep.
No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
So there's too much delay, so I'm going to take these delay channels and bring the volume down a lot on these.
No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
There's still a lot of like reverb, so let's bring this reverb
No
down.
more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain. No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
Cool. So there's a nice little gap here, and this is where automation is going to come in handy. So to make this track just feel like there's more movement, what I'm actually going to do is automate some of these delayed signals so that they actually increase in volume during these break sections to just kind of help fill it out. So you'll hear what that sounds like.
Inside my brain. No more questions. Inside my brain. No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain. Inside my brain.
And I kind of kept it up here because it's going to create like a nice tail for that section. So I like that. I like the way that sounds. The next thing I want to probably do is add some sidechain to this vocal, because it's playing at the same time as the drop. So I kind of want there to be a little bit of like a pumping feeling on the vocal. And that's what the sidechain is going to do. It's going to kind of have the vocal pump with the kick drum. So I prefer to use a volume shaping plugin like Kickstart. I just find it very easy. So I'll throw this on the vocal group, and you can kind of pick your curve here. I usually like one of these two, or this one. And yeah, we're just going to dial this in. It's probably not going to be at 100%.
No more questions. No more pain.
Yeah, because you lose a lot of the syllables there, right?
No more questions. No more pain. Just this. No more questions. No more pain. Just this groove inside my brain. Inside my brain. Inside my brain. My brain.
Cool. So that's pretty dope. I would maybe work a little bit more on this like delay section. So we can either do our own chops here. So that would look like something like maybe, let's put this automation lock on so we don't change any of this automation, but
Brain.
you could like kind of zoom in here.
Brain.
You could like take that A and like duplicate that. A lot of times with chops, I like to just chop it up without actually listening and then listening after, because if I try to think about exactly what I want to hear before, it just slows me down. I rather just let myself like kind of move the paintbrush, as they would say, and then just see what it looks like, because I can always undo it.
My brain, no, my brain, my brain, no.
That's kind of cool. And like, you know, maybe this last one, what we'll do is we'll stretch this bad boy out. And then something I like to do is change this to texture mode, play with this grain size.
No more questions. No more.
So like that's one idea, and we can get even like more granular here, right? We can add something like Infiltrator, which is a really cool like multi-effect plugin, and we can find like a random preset. So I like to press this random little dice button and maybe just loop this section here. Sometimes you find cool things that you maybe want to keep on the whole time. So this is like a pitch shifting one. It doesn't sound that great. This is kind of cool. So what I would do is maybe automate this dry wet up so that during this almost like vocal fill, I could even, you know, if I really wanted to make this look a little nicer, I could like consolidate this and maybe change the color, right? So now we know this is the fill. So the mix is going to come up and you're going to hear. It's just a lot cooler, right? It has this like glitchy kind of effect. Yeah, so I like that.
No more questions, no more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
All right, now let's unloop this.
No more questions, no more pain. Just this groove inside my brain.
And then like here, instead of doing the same fill, like what I would do would maybe loop this 3 times.
This groove inside my brain, my brain, my brain, my brain, inside my brain, my brain.
That's kind of cool. Let's maybe like bring the volume of these down. So sometimes when I just want to bring the volume of a few things down, I'll just use like the clip here.
Inside my brain, my brain, my brain, inside my brain.
And then for this section, what we can do is that delay was getting a little bit messy. So let's actually bring this down and let's use a plugin like Endless Smile to create like a tail here. So I'm going to go add my Endless Smile to the end. Going to make him happy. It's going to make me happy. And let's automate this up. You hear that nice little tail that's coming from it? So I like that. Let's just make sure, yeah, this should be getting sidechain.
My brain, my brain. Inside my brain, my brain, inside my brain.
So now we got this vocal chop section here. So what I would like to do is probably make the vocal chops sound like the vocals. So I'm going to add that processing rack back in here, and let's just see how this sounds.
My brain, inside my brain, inside my brain, 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 my brain.
So So that's pretty cool. I think it still sounds like a little too similar to this vocal. So maybe we could try something like a telephone vocal effect, which is gonna help like make this vocal chop not stand out in the mix so much. Cool. So that sounds a little more just like interesting to me. You could also use like saturation. Like I would love using maybe like decapitator here just to make it sound a little bit like more crunchy and like lo-fi. Shade like we could also maybe add like a tremolator to just create a little bit more like bounce with this, because there's a little bit of a bounce from a sidechain, but we could do like 16th, I don't know. Maybe eighth note instead. Do we have eighth notes here? I should be able to change this, right? This is just a little bit of a better groove from that. Like it just doesn't feel like sitting on top of everything in the mix. And then I would also do some chopping here. So, we have this is a 2-bar loop, right? 57 to 59, and it just repeats itself. So I probably want a little bit of variation, like I would say in this section and probably in this section as well. So let's just listen and see what we could hear. So yeah, like instead of doing, you could maybe do like, sometimes it's just nice to pick random moments from before, swap that. I think I forgot to copy this one here. Maybe like zoom in a little bit more so we're not just doing the same rhythm. And like here, maybe instead of going to the vocal chop, we could add
Just this groove inside my brain. No more questions. No more questions. No more questions.
That doesn't really work, right? But it probably makes sense to actually just keep the chop here. So we could either copy this one that we had, or we could switch it up and do something else here. But yeah, that's my quick video showing you guys how to if you have like a beat or something you started, or maybe you don't like the vocal on something, you're trying to find something new, how you can use a pack like the new Kick and Bass Tech Shouts and Phrases pack to not just put in like one vocal, but find complementing vocals, process them, and make them sound your own and use them in an interesting way. I think that's one of the pitfalls of using sample pack vocals, is a lot of times people just drag it in and they call it a day, but it's really about making sure that the vocal fits the way that your beat is flowing. And so if something gets boring and stale, that means you may have to make some variations to it or chop it out, or maybe it sounds too full, you have to cut the vocal out a bit. So let me know if you have any questions, and as always, sign up to be a member at Kick and Bass. It's our amazing music production community and platform where you can watch tons of tutorials like this from me and our other guest coaches, get feedback on your music, join live streams, and just grow an incredible community of producers. So have a good one. Peace.